welcome into your daily Buckeye Blitz for finally Friday. Not much football to talk about on this football Friday, but we're going to talk Buckeye football, so that counts. As always, I appreciate you guys joining us. Let's plow through this into this new year, flip over a new leaf, turn over a new coin, whatever the phrase you want to use there is. Don't forget to visit thebuckeyecast.com. Greatly appreciate that. Everything is still on sale, and we'll keep this train rolling. Today, we're talking about the coaching staff. Everybody's got an opinion. Few people have answers. That's kind of the problem. But I'm going to start off with an asterisk, like a small one, not a big one, like the cheaters, not an asterisk that big. But so, footnote, there will be changes coming to the staff here over the coming weeks. And who knows, there may be changes before, by the time I record this and by the time you hear it. So just give me some time and some grace. Thank you. So anyways, we're talking coaching staff. Can Ryan Day, my question to you, can Ryan Day make the hard decisions and make the staff changes? I say yes, right off the bat. I'll give you my answer, because he did it with the defensive staff a couple of years ago. You know, he had to fire a longtime Ohio, head coach in high school, and then a longtime DB coach, Kerry Combs. So Matt Barnes was only with the team for a couple of years before he was fired. But so I think Brian Day is willing. He will give people a little leash. Now, I won't deny that. Maybe a little more leash than you and I would, but he will make the hard decisions that need to be made to right this ship and get this pointed in the right direction. As you know, Day has a 56-8 record, 2 conference championships, 3 appearances in the CFP playoffs. He's got an .875 winning percentage. I believe that leads the country. Bowl record, he's been in 6 bowls, 2-4 there. And he's ended he's had 2 losses in each of the last 3 years. The last 2 years, he's ended the season with 2 losses to the Cheaters, and then in the playoffs this year to the Cheaters, and then the bowl game. He coached a strong game against Georgia last year in the playoffs. Just came within a field goal, too little, too late. So we're going to go coach by coach here on the staff. The first one is the obvious one. And I mean, if this doesn't get made, then we have big problems. But from what it sounds like, from what we're hearing, this is the layup, no doubter, no brainer, the obvious move. Letting Parker Fleming go. You will have to pay his buyout. I think he had another year left on his contract at $500K. So enjoy. Go park your ass on a beach somewhere, Parker. But that one's obvious, right? Letting him go. So let's get into the offense. Corey Dennis, we're hearing that he possibly might be out. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think I'm not saying we need to get rid of all the Urban Meyer leftovers. I've heard that theory floated out there. Don't agree with that whatsoever. But Corey Dennis just is not a developer of quarterbacks. Ryan Day is. So Ryan Day needs to get somebody on his level to work with the quarterbacks so he can continue. He needs to be more of that CEO type, right? Because he cannot handle this in-game stuff. I mean, you saw the Missouri head coach, Drinkowitz, say that he had to take a step back, hire an OC, and become that CEO type to manage the games. In-game, you cannot call plays, look at the clock, look at the play clock, get the play delivered over the headset to the signalers, and we will have the helmet communications next year, the radio communications. So that's not an issue. But still, looking at the play sheet, picking a play, looking at the play clock, looking at the game clock, looking at the timeouts, especially, he botched multiple end of halves this year. So that's a lot. So get a quarterback coach in there. He can help with the offensive coordination and stuff, help Hartline out with that. But you need somebody to get in there, develop quarterbacks, recruit quarterbacks, so that he doesn't have to go out on the road every time they put out an offer to a quarterback, right? So, I don't have a problem with Corey Dennis getting out. I think you'll see what he's worth by the next job he gets. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Then we'll talk Brian Hartline here, wide receiver coach, kind of OC, just for the paycheck. He's getting the paycheck. That's about it. So he's one of the top recruiters and developers in the country. No doubt about it. I can't deny that. If you go through Ohio State in the receiver position, you are definitely coming out a much better player, a fine-tuned quality receiver. And he's got that thing humming. I will ask one question, though. What happened in 2022 with that recruiting class? Yeah, still waiting. It sounds like another receiver is going to pop in the portal eventually. It might not be till after the next window opens up after spring ball in May. There's like a 15-day window. That's the next portal opening. Sounds like another receiver. I wouldn't be surprised if it's either Jaden Ballard or one of the 22 guys, Kojo Antwi or Keon Grays. So other than that, though, Hartline is yearly, one of the top recruiters, got the best player in the class in Jeremiah Smith this year, held on to him for grim death and was able to make it to the finish line. So we'll see how he can make Jeremiah Smith even better. I think we're talking slivers there. So then you got Tony Alford, running backs coach. He is one of the best developers on the staff. He has cranked out so many high-quality running backs. My only advice would be to avoid South Florida when recruiting. That's it. But Tony Alford is a must-keep on the staff, must-have. He should not – he probably is looking for a head coaching job eventually over the next few years, but hopefully he doesn't take one, because he'll have to start at like a MAC level. And he was up for that Colorado State job a couple of years ago, didn't get it, but hopefully he doesn't move on. Justin Fry, this one definitely has the ire of Buckeye Nation's eye. He's on the hot seat for sure. I think that we can all agree that he is squarely on the hot seat. He needs a 5-star commit in this 2025 class, and not one from the state of Ohio, preferably not one from the Midwest. You need to hit the coast, hit the South, all points in between, bring in a 5-star in 2025. You need to do that. I have a hard time seeing the sunny side of this Justin Fryer. He's got to develop this O-line. It's got to be much better in 2024, whatever it takes. Bringing in portal pieces, multiple portal guys. I would recommend at least 2. Center, guard, tackle, all positions should be open and up for debate competition. He did get Josh Simmons slightly improved, I'd say. He did have a bad game against in the Cotton Bowl, but those edge rushers were no joke, man, for Missouri. But he improved Josh Simmons, but did not get him to a Big Ten level left tackle. So he's got to work on that. And again, like I said, land a freaking 5-star one time, dude. Seriously. Keenan Bailey, jury's still out. Looks like he can recruit. Let's see how much he can coach up. Let's get these tight ends to run block. Maybe it's a matter of moving, older guys out, bringing in young guys. You can drill that into their heads a little bit harder. Same with the receivers. I forgot to mention that. Let's work on that perimeter blocking out there on Hartline and your receivers. That would be nice. But yeah, Keenan Bailey, no major issues. Don't forget your 9 mm next time you go to Cleveland, though. Defense, Jim Knowles. We know he doesn't like to recruit. He's not a great recruiter. You need to change your attitude on that, please. And I think if you want to ingratiate yourself to the Buckeye fans, make James Laurinaitis the linebackers coach. That's a quick fix. We will forget everything else, that you're not good at recruiting. You let a lot of good linebacker recruits go elsewhere, and now they're in the portal. Tackett Curtis. But anyways, all will be forgiven if you make Laurinaitis a full-time coach where he can get out there and go recruit some of these studs. But other than that, no complaints about Jim Knowles. I do have a show coming up over the weekend about the change, the update, the upgrade, I should say, of the defensive numbers this year, comparing 2022 to 2023, and how we did actually improve quite a bit, actually. So check that out. I think that's Sunday. D-line, Larry Johnson, of course. What can you say? I mean, the guy's a legend. I mean, that's how you have to start off every intro to Larry Johnson, right? But the problem is, like we just had this issue with Amaris Williams. He was the Florida commit that was still shopping around, came up to Columbus late in the cycle. Then Auburn got in late. They told Amaris that Coach Johnson was going to be retiring, going to be leaving after his contract expires here in January. This is a recurring theme every year. It's like fucking Groundhog Day here, you know? Coach Johnson has to, I don't know, maybe sign him to a longer deal so you can't use that against him. I don't know what needs to be done. I hate to say he needs to move on, but if that's the answer, and if you lose a recruit, it might, in the long run, be worth it. You might have to take that bullet, you know? But this is not going to end. You know, again, Groundhog Day comes every year. And for us, it comes in January, not February, though. Next up, cornerbacks coach Tim Walton. Is he a better recruiter than Brian Hartline? I'd say it's neck and neck right now. I think he vastly improved Denzel Burke, who was kind of, I don't know, MIA in 2022. I know he had injuries and stuff, but I think right now he's recruiting as good as Brian Hartline. He hasn't brought in a true 5-star number one corner in the class, but he's about to Saturday probably with Devin Sanchez. He's a number 2 corner in the class. So I'll take it. That's a 5-star, nearly perfect recruit and development. You got to recruit and develop. That's the key. That's why Heartline's so successful. You know, you got to bring them in, but then you also got to develop them, get them ready for the league. And I think IGB is really developing nicely. He had a nice year under Tim Walton, Jordan Hancock too. So I think do not let Tim Walton go. Whatever he wants, pay that man his monies. Safety, Perry Eliano. My jury's still kind of out on him. I was not happy with Malik Hartford's performance this year. They had to pull him. They played him early in the year, had to yank him out because he wasn't seeing it. And then against Michigan in the Cheaters, last game of the season, JJ whizzed one right by his freaking ear hole because he had his back to the quarterback. So that was the touchdown where Denzel Burke actually intercepted it. Anyway, Jahad Carter, where's he been? Dinged up a little bit, but we never saw him make the field. So my development questions are what I'm asking about Perry Eliano. Recruiting, I mean, you brought in Sonny Styles, but his dad, he's a legacy, right? I mean, his dad is a longtime Buckeye. So I don't know if that's a huge recruiting win, you know, kind of like I'm not sure you get credit for bringing in Jack Sawyer, you know, dude lives right up the street from the freaking university, you know, even though he's a 5-star. But so I need to see more development, more recruiting. Eliano brought in a 3-star from Fort Myers. Are you freaking serious? That's what you had? You couldn't even get your own family member, KJ Bolden. I don't know, man. So staff changes are coming. Brace yourselves, folks. I'm hearing that Parker is the obvious one, and then Corey Dennis could be out as well. We'll see if anything else moves there. Guys take jobs elsewhere, like, a bump up in promotion or going to the league or something. So that's all I got for you today. Talk to you tomorrow. Go Bucks.